Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
You're listening to Bloomberg Businessweek with Carol Massar and Tim Stenovec on Bloomberg Radio.
Hey, we want to get to a story. Do you watch YouTube a lot?
I actually do. I feel like it's so easy to just continue to go down rabbit holes of all the things that you watch one thing, another video will come up, and I probably spend too much time.
We do that too, but we have dedicated channels that we definitely go to. We sail and we watch some of the sailors that are going around the globe. So we'll tune in every week or 2 weeks when they've got a new episode. Got to keep in mind, YouTube has spent the past few years trying to make itself the centerpiece of the living room. For 2 decades, it has tried to convince advertisers that it's the future of entertainment. It has had some problems making that case. So writes our own Lucas Shaw. We want to head to our LA bureau for Bloomberg News and to Bloomberg News Managing Editor, Media and Entertainment head Lucas Shaw. He's really the ringleader, I should say, behind our Bloomberg Screen Time coverage and vertical as well. Hey, Lucas, good to check in with you. Great story. YouTube, it feels like I don't know, I feel like everybody's talking about it. It's coming into its own. What's going on? And is kind of everybody talking about it with good reason?
Well, I'd say everyone in Hollywood is paying more attention to it than they used to be. It's funny to talk about YouTube as anything new, right? It's been around for 20 years as of this year. It's been widely popular for at least a decade, if not longer. It's the most popular music service in most of the world. It's become a very popular platform for podcasting. It's where people essentially watch late night. It's the new home of all. I use it for yoga, but I think that. What's really happened over the last couple of years is twofold. One is it's just as traditional entertainment has gotten more challenging and as the TV business has shrunk, advertisers have looked to YouTube as the future and started to spend more and more money there. Creators who have been there for a long time have started to build businesses and been able to raise real capital. And then I think data also does play a real role here, where Nielsen puts out these monthly reports on how much time people are spending watching a given streaming service on television. And YouTube has gone from being already number 2 behind Netflix to now being the unequivocal number 1. People spend more time watching YouTube on a television than everything Disney owns. That's streaming, wow. That's TV networks. And I think that has really reinforced for people in entertainment, like, holy crap, YouTube is really big and we need to look at this again.
What do we know as far as behind Alphabet's efforts when it comes to streaming? When you think about other rivals, say like Amazon with Amazon Prime and the streaming services that they have, and you're mentioning obviously Netflix too here.
Well, look, YouTube is leaps and bounds bigger than what any of the other tech companies have, right? Apple and Amazon have their own streaming services. Apple's is very niche. Amazon's is pretty big, but still much smaller. Both of them view themselves, I think, primarily as homes and retailers for other people's wares, right? Like Amazon is at its core a retailer. It wants to sell everyone else's streaming service. Apple wanted to make its TV app the place where you could come and find everything. The challenge that a lot of them ran into as a company like Netflix was like, I don't want to collaborate with you on this. I'm trying to become the place that everybody goes. YouTube has aspects of it being this destination, right? They sell the live TV service, YouTube TV. You can pay for paid streaming services and stream them within YouTube. There are a lot of other things you can do besides watch core YouTube, but it has the biggest advantage of all, which is it has just YouTube. And so many people already come for that it becomes a natural hub to direct them to all these other things.
So I got to ask you, Lucas, our Sebastian Escobar is just saying YouTube Premium, like, kind of changed his life, changed his mind. He said it's like $19 a month, a bit pricey, but no ads. I mean, is that where they're making their money, or do they need to be providing content that advertisers want to advertise with?
Well, look, YouTube still makes the majority of its money from advertising. I think last year it was, I'm going to say it's about 35 billion, but don't hold me to that. Maybe it was a little lower. Maybe it was closer to 30. Subscription-wise, the outside estimates now say the YouTube business is probably 15 to 20 billion. That's also massive. It's not as big as advertising. That's a mix of YouTube TV, the YouTube Premium. I think YouTube Premium is great for certain people, and the music service is a big lure. YouTube has become one of the bigger paid music services on top of being free. But it's still, look, that's like the nice growth area and something they're putting a lot of effort into. But YouTube is a division of Alphabet. Alphabet makes most of its money from advertising. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, but they want to have a little bit of everything. And there's the quality of programming that you see on YouTube, I think is getting better each year. And that's one of the things that I tried to get at is there's always been this perception of YouTube as sort of a home for lower quality smut. And there's some of that still, there's a lot of that still there, right? It's sort of there's an inexhaustible amount of video that you can watch on YouTube. But the stuff at the top end is starting to rival what you could see on TV.
How are Hollywood executives trying to jump in on this?
Well, so there's a long and checkered history of Hollywood and YouTube in that about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, there was sort of an initial rush of investment, and Hollywood companies invested in all these companies called multi-channel networks that were sort of loose confederations of channels where the company itself didn't really own anything. They did a lot of business like ad sales or distribution on behalf of the channels. Turns out those were not very good businesses, but Disney spent a bunch of money on one. DreamWorks Animation bought one. Warner Brothers bought one or two. Now I think they're looking at that again, but trying to be smarter about how they go about it. So that can be either in kind of just licensing existing shows, right? So Netflix has CoComelon, they have Miss Rachel, they have The Sidemen, Amazon has a big show with Mr. Beast, and that's essentially paying these people to bring what's already popular over to them. Or they may invest in some of these companies or try to strike deals. And those haven't happened yet, but I think they probably will at some point. You'll see an effort to kind of buy someone who has brands or properties that might work.
Yeah, it's just kind of fascinating. I guess, does it, bottom line, Lucas, I mean, going forward, do they want to have, I'm assuming the majority of their content, produced well, or do they like this idea that there's like kind of anybody can create a YouTube channel and put some content up there?
And they, in that case, is YouTube?
Well, I'm thinking about, I guess YouTube creating, their own content. It sounds like they want to kind of up the quality of it. But I just feel like there's just so many other people who do it too. And some of it's really good, some of it's not.
I don't think YouTube wants to finance a lot of its own programming.
Oh, okay.
That could change, but they have dabbled in that over the years, and it hasn't gone very well. And I think they much prefer being this neutral distributor and being a platform where people can upload anything. And they might invest or put money behind certain areas where they want to push people. But they have Alphabet, Google, YouTube, any part of that colossus has never shown a ton of interest in being a proper studio in the same way that Amazon and Apple are now. Now that could change. Someone made a good point to me the other day, which is like, if you're them and you want to be ahead in AI, would you want to buy a big studio and use that copyright to train your video model? Maybe, but to date, funding entertainment or kind of directly funding production has not been something that YouTube has liked a lot.
All right. Well, it's such a great deep dive. And I just feel like we are increasingly, when we're talking about like where everybody's watching, we are talking so much about YouTube. Lucas, thank you as always. Really appreciate it. Of course, Bloomberg News Managing Editor, Media and Entertainment, Lucas Shaw. Check out his story. It's in the weekend edition, too, of Bloomberg Businessweek, and you can check it out and read a little bit more in terms of details. There's some great, I think Lucas touched on it, but according to Nielsen, an average of more than 7 million people in the U.S. are watching YouTube on a TV at any given time.
Incredible.
More than watching Netflix and Amazon Prime Video combined. Fastest growing audience being viewers 65 and over. I don't know. It's just kind of wild. We watch it a lot in our household.